All right, so first and foremost, you see all this yelling on the sideline. That's Garrett Wilson.
Give me the ball!
Yeah, their best wide receiver. Joe Namath, of course, spoke out. Aaron Rodgers has now spoken out. Let's start with Aaron Rodgers saying, look, we basically need to mature a little bit. We need to grow up a little bit. Can't have all that finger pointing on the sideline. Obviously, he's trying to protect the fragile ego and emotional state of Zach Wilson.
You know what's baffling about that comment, too? If we watch Aaron Rodgers in his past appointment with the Green Bay Packers, he's probably one of the most bombastic quarterbacks of all time. I've seen this guy slam helmets. He always looks ornery. He's known for having a temper himself.
Yeah.
So for him to throw rocks out of Garrett Wilson, who had to live the nightmare within Zach Wilson last year, to make a comment about it, I'm just like, bro, you got to slow down a little bit.
Not just
These guys have been through a lot.
There's a chance later in the show I'll show you proof from Hard Knocks of Aaron Rodgers throwing everybody under the bus. Yeah, how about you block somebody? You didn't run the right route. You have a false start.
Yeah.
You guys all suck.
He's even snapping with Daniel Hackett at times.
Right.
Like, he's like, man, get the tight end there. Why do I have to tell you that? You know your job. So this guy he knows what that looks like. So I'm surprised he's like, all right, we now have to be mature. You're about to be 40 next year.
Yeah, here's the move I'm trying to understand. I'm racking my brain trying to figure it out as the season starts to unravel here for the New York Jets with Kansas City, of course, Sunday night. And that is the decision by Joe Douglas to sign Trevor Siemian. Who? Trevor Siemian.
Yeah.
Trevor Siemian has not won a game that he has started since 2017. That's 6 years without a win in the NFL. We don't even have video.
No, they didn't have video.
We got stills.
Of Trevor Siemian playing football. The last game he played was actually against the Jets when he started for the Chicago Bears, and the Jets beat them. Yeah. That's how bad Trevor Siemian is, or did hurt his ankle in that game. I don't understand it. I know they claim...
You do understand it.
I know they claim he knows the Hackett verbiage for offensive game planning. He's not a good quarterback. He's not a threat to Zach Wilson. He's not even going to be on the active roster for Sunday's game against Kansas City. What's the point?
But you do understand it because you've talked about this a lot. It's about Zach Wilson's confidence, right? You're not going to bring in a guy who potentially has a resume or is qualified for the job to beat Zach Wilson. They're just having this guy on the roster in case Zach Wilson goes down with an injury. Other than that, he's just a body on the roster.
Right. So they didn't answer. It's like I said, putting up boobs on a bull. It's pointless.
This makes no sense to me whatsoever. Oh, we're going to bring in Trevor Siemian because he knows the verbiage of the offense. Well, guess what? He was on the Jets 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Completely different thing. I'd rather have a good quarterback and then teach him the verbiage of the offense. And the idea that they're bringing someone who doesn't challenge Zach Wilson, that doesn't hurt his confidence so he doesn't feel like he's got to look over his shoulder. He should be looking over his shoulder. He's not a good quarterback. And if the Jets want to win, they have to bring in someone who is a good quarterback.
Here's the other thing I don't get, and something you just said, you're not the only person I've heard say it. The Jets say it. Like, there's a concern of Zach's confidence. We don't want to shatter it. And I'm trying to figure out for myself, why is he confident?
That's a great point.
He's got nothing to be confident about.
Yeah.
He's no joke.
But you also don't want to beat a dead dog, right? Like, if a dog's down, you kind of want to rehab him into...
But you don't want to start a dead dog at quarterback either.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what we're doing.
All we have. But I've been in that position when I had Geno as a rookie my year in 2013, and he was going through his ups and downs. Then the second year, I was like, oh, Geno's going to make the jump. And he didn't make the jump.
No, he did not.
And I watched his confidence waver. And I watched him walk around the locker room not making eye contact with guys. And I watched this dude kind of pretty much dip off into the shadows because the media and all the attention became a lot. And then you saw Michael Vick walk in the building. And everyone was like, oh, we got Michael Vick, baby. And then every time Geno had a bad game, it was, all right, well, just throw Mike in. He knows the offense. He knows what to do. And it did weigh him down. So I can understand that mindset. But right now, the Jets don't have anything.
No, Aaron Rodgers did also kind of hint and tease the notion that you may see him on the sideline of a Jet game, if not Sunday night against Kansas City, in the very near future. Look, I can't say that would hurt the Jets to have Aaron Rodgers on the sideline, but I don't think he's going to be on the sideline anytime soon.
I disagree with Aaron Rodgers being on the sideline because every time he's on the sideline and Zach makes a play, who are they going to point the camera at?
Aaron Rodgers.
Right, and it's going to be like, oh, God, I wouldn't have done that. And that you don't need that because when the highlights come after the end of that game, it's all about being Aaron Rodgers reacting to that play. And Zach doesn't need it. If you care about the man's confidence.
It's funny. A lot of times we watch games play. Like, I had a problem with, the sharing of jerseys after a game, with Micah Parsons and Sauce Gardner. We talked about that. One of the problems I know I have, and I think I represent a good portion of the Jet fan base, if not the entire Jet fan base, is that after another 3 and out, or an interception, or a bad throw, when I see Zach on the sideline, he don't seem all that upset about it, right? He sits there. You got the Rambo headband on. You got the fraternity boy look. Nobody's sitting with you, and it seems like he's not bothered by it.
But you also don't want to see him look like he's about to have a mental breakdown.
I want
either.
that. That's
why
the guy I want.
that.
Yeah, I want that.
Do you ever want to see your quarterback like just crying?
Yes,
Or just,
yes.
What does tears
Just
do?
feel
Yeah,
position.
I want like helmets being thrown.
Right.
I want tears coming down your face. I want you to look dirty.
So you want to look like how Josh Allen looks when he throws a pick?
Yes.
Okay.
I want misery on the sideline because I know he cares. It doesn't look like he cares, and I'm a body language expert.
Well, you are, but
That's
at the same time, you don't want your quarterback crying or look like he can't handle the job. You want to see him have a little bit of composure.
Yeah,
that's what
and
he's trying to have.
when I say that, I'm talking about NFL players, not here at work. I do not handle that type of leadership well at all. I don't want to be yelled at. I don't want to be criticized.
Hey.
I frankly want to be left alone. Meanwhile, Garrett Wilson and the rest of the Jets obviously heard Joe Namath's comments in which he torched Zach Wilson and threw him right under the bus. There's also word out of Florida that Joe Namath was seen throwing pass routes yesterday at the old age home, thing that maybe he comes back to the New York Jets. Garrett Wilson reacted to what Joe Namath had to say, and bottom line is this. He'd like to put together a situation where one day Joe Namath can admit that he was wrong and we make him eat his words. Well, that day's not coming anytime soon. Maybe next Labor Day when Aaron Rodgers is back.
No, at the end of the day, Joe said what he said.
Yeah.
And he has stood on it. And
Yep.
and he has earned the right because the New York Jets have used Joe Namath as far as his celebrity to an aggressive extent. And my thing with Garrett Wilson is just continue to play football, young man. Because no matter what you say, no matter how many times you get on camera, everything you say is going to be used against you until the New York Jets win a football game of competency.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they play the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday, so it's about over. We're getting right there. I thought 0-3 is bad. 1-3 sounds pretty bad when you win the first one, and then there's 3 consecutive games, and you've got the Bills and Dolphins looking like they can beat just about anybody.
But what would you tell Garrett Wilson? How would you want Garrett?
Demand a trade.
Right now?
Yep. If I was his agent, I go into Joe Douglas's office, and I would say to him, if you're committed to Zach Wilson, you need to find me another home. Because I can't play with Zach Wilson. Because now you're affecting my bag. You're affecting my bank
But that's
account.
solely because that's what the outbursts are coming from.
Yeah, of course
And just
it
like
is.
Jamar Chase was mad at Burrow for.
But here's the difference. Jamar Chase, throws a fit about not getting the ball downfield, right? Other guys.
But he also needs Joe Burrow on the field.
Right, but that's the point.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow's on the field, so all of a sudden Jamar Chase
That's
has
12
12
catches,
catches.
yes.
Right, A.J. Brown gets ticked off. I'm not getting the ball. You have a competent quarterback in Jalen Hurts to go, here's 9 of them, right? So Garrett Wilson wants the ball. Who's thrown it to him?
Yeah.
Not Trevor Siemian, right? Not Timmy Boyd, and sure as hell, boy, oh boy, the same thing ain't going to play. And not Zach Wilson either. And that's the problem right now with the New York Jets. We live in a quarterback-driven league, and we don't have a quarterback on our roster. I want to be clear about something else.
Get it out.
While I'm at it.
Get it out, Craig.
Because it bothers me when I see columnists or hear people on the radio or on TV go, you know what the Jets should do? The Jets should get Carson Wentz. Why?
Stop it.
You know what the Jets should do? The Jets should get Matt Ryan. Why? You're talking about these has-been guys who are a name that people recognize, but who can't play football. We are screwed. Hey there. Thank you so much for watching The Carton Show. You can subscribe right here to get all the latest bits and segments from the show. And by the way, while you're at it, we have a lot of great shows on FS1, so check them out too.